So, for people who did not have freedom, when freedom came, however briefly it might be, they want to capture it because they know it may not come back again. So I had to do the impossible, jumping ahead 3 years ahead and compete against other 12th graders for the 1% chance of going to college. But fortunately, my parents helped me. I worked very hard. So I got into University of Science and Technology, the MIT of China. And then in 1982, with $50 borrowed from a visiting American professor with an English-Chinese dictionary, I was dropped at National Airport, Washington, D.C. with that $50 with a Chinese-English dictionary, knowing no one in this country, could hardly speak English, even though I was nearly penniless, but I was happy. Why? I found the freedom.
How did you feel when you had to catch up on those 3 grades? You must have studied like 12 hours a day. Every day.
Yes, even more, probably like 16 hours a day. Yeah, I had to do that because, my back was against the river. If I step back, I will fall into the river, meaning my only alternative is stay in the darkness, stay, under the threat of not being able to find a job and everything. So it's like, that's the problem. Today's young people, they don't have to. So, some of them are not as motivated.
So you came to the U.S. alone. That's crazy. But when you got into the university in China, how did you feel? Did you feel relieved, or you just felt like, I have to keep going? I can't take a break. There's no rest. I keep going.
Yeah, I have to keep it going because I want to be able to come to America to study and expand my range of life experience. So I knew that after finishing college, I would try to come to America.
After going through this initial difficult ordeal, did you feel more confidence in yourself, like you can do anything, or was that not in your mind yet?
Actually, it was very helpful because I often get a question. I give this presentation to inner city kids, for example, and public school students. And the question come up a lot is that, Dr. Wang, you fought it. I want to fight. How can I learn to fight? And my answer is that you learn to fight. The ability to fight adversities and challenges is like a tree. It will not grow overnight, right? You take many years of nurturing. So if you want to overcome adversities and try to achieve something in life, I told the students always, you have to start learning how to fight, how to make extra effort and in school. And once you learn that habit, you become your habit.
Yeah, what did you do when you had to study so much? There must have been times where you said, it's not worth it, or I can't do this, or I'll never make it. How did you overcome your self-doubt during those times?
That's a great question. I think probably 2 things. One is my parents, they instilled in me, they implanted in me ever since young, the desire to persevere, to work hard, don't give up. As I saw my parents, how they didn't give up. During Cultural Revolution, in difficult time, I was hungry half the time. We didn't have enough to eat. But they saw beyond the circumstance and believed this could be better tomorrow for their kids. So they worked the hardest to achieve that. So imprinting at young. But later on, when I was growing up and I learned to train my ability to fight through small things. And then gradually, when you fought bigger things, your ability to fight is significantly increased.
Yeah, it's like lifting weights, I guess. You build up that muscle, fighting muscle. Okay. So you came to the U.S. with nothing, literally. What did you do? What was some of the first things you did here?
I had to come in with $50, so I didn't have money. And my parents spent 2 months of their monthly salary and bought me a 3-piece suit. So I may be one of the poor students on campus, but I was probably the best dressed with and they have nothing, just 3-piece suit and a little bag of books. So people start laughing at me because I realized was pretty informal on campuses. Here, I was walking around with 3-piece suit, barely speaking English. So I have to dress like American. By then, I only had $10. Because when I arrived, I was so hungry. I had 4 Big Macs. I was hungry, and I almost killed myself by, indigestion. So by then, I only had $10. How could you dress like American? It was only $10. Well, as is shown in the book and the movie, Salvation Army. So I got in, it was a quarter. I could buy a pair of pants, So I came out. I dressed like Americans already, but I got more laughs. Why? Because that was 1982. I was dressed in clothes that people used to wear in the late 1960s. Bell-bottom pants and bright colored shirts. So people joke that you just turned from yuppie to hippie,
What school did you go to? You were accepted before you came?
Yeah, I first went to University of Maryland, College Park. I got my Ph.D. in laser physics. And then I finished my postdoc at MIT. After I got the first doctorate degree, I decided I'm going to get my second doctorate degree, this time an MD. The first one was Ph.D. in laser physics, because I want to be unique laser eye surgeon, knowing not just medicine, which all medical doctors had learned medicine, but also know the technology.